Good morning. It's War 3, which means a break after this. We are against Celestial Avengers. We died to them last season and they're cursed for me. But more about that later. We have a bit of a funny one today. We've got Symbiote Supreme for the usual. Gorr comes today. Vox wasn't banned, but couldn't fit him in. And we need some White Magneto pre-fights. I can't even remember at this point. The war's already done and it's currently Wednesday. We're taking Serpent on path node 9, then path 8. I've forgotten already because I'm talking too slow this time as opposed to too fast. So we'll see as we get to it. In the meantime here, we've got a large rank 3 Serpent on node 9, as I said. A naked Symbiote Supreme, i.e. no Mordo synergy. And we're feeling good. The usual approach, I've done this plenty of times with and without the synergy, so I knew what I was getting into and I'm feeling pretty hot on Serpent this season so far. He's got power focus 1, that doesn't really bother me. Either way, I know that I'm only going to take 1 on block, hopefully, before I get to my special 3. I didn't account for eating nearly a full combo to the face though. So that wasn't fun. Yeah, down to 50% health already, almost, which just to keep me on the edge. Really didn't. This was literally the first war of the entire, the first fight of the entire war, I think, let alone just my battle group. So I really didn't want to be number 1. Yeah. So anyway, we've got the special 3 down, SP1 is done, and now we can start our usual fun. And we are back in control. Second SP3 didn't hit as hard as I'd have liked, but luck that also meant that I didn't gain as much power, which was good because it meant I could throw a giant special 2 with my relic as usual. And despite this latest fuck up taking a full unblockable special 1, the fight at this point is done. We're just going to clean it out. Special 3 kills him because his relatively low sig means his death immunity doesn't last as long, and we can clean it out. We do need to heal up Symbiote Supreme though because we've got him for another fight. Next up, coming to path 8 in section 2, we've got Nightcrawler here, where I'm going to use Gorr. The plan will be to parry hit a couple of times till I get my clarity charge, and then I don't need to fuck about trying to change his stance, and I can literally just hit him, ignore his evade, and get the fight done nice and simple. Previously I've only obviously been, as you know, been only using Gorr for Bullseye, which is fun, entertaining. Not my favourite fight. It is good fun though, but I'm not really so keen on him for anything else. I know he has his fans, I'm not saying his shit. He's pretty good. I don't know, he's a bit slow for my liking. I think Vox would have had this done already. I'm kidding. Although he wouldn't be far off, to be fair. But this is very easy. His specials are easy to evade, or dex, whatever. And he's going down not as quickly as I'd have liked, but that's okay. If you're playing for time though, which ultimately we did end up needing to do, Gorr is not the one. Especially Gorr against Bullseye, which we do have coming up. In the meantime, looking for a quicker fight, we move up to node 35. There is a Gorr, speak of the devil, and we're going back in with Symbiote Supreme. Previous mistakes I've made here in the past after the initial nullify at the start of the fight were that I was hitting him, which gave him buffs, which meant that I wasn't going to be winning the rich get richer race. So this time I didn't hit him at all until I got my 3 bars, and that way we can control the fight a lot better. Didn't even want to risk hitting into block, I don't think. literally just going to keep dexing out of the way. I've got my 100 charges, SP3, and go, go, go. This will give him some buffs, so he'll start gaining some power. Although I've got more buffs, so that's good. Big special 2, into special 3. Fight is as good as done. And 19 hits, and he's finished. That's the end of my Symbiote Supreme stuff this war. And we can move on. The initial plan was to place Wags on 38, but we were a bit pressed for time. Everyone had some difficult schedules this war, so we foregoed it as it wasn't actually strictly necessary for the fight in particular. So we're going to move straight on to node 42 Bullseye, which is a new one for me. I've taken Serpent here a bunch of times with Symbiote. I've taken other champions here with Vox. Bullseye here with Gorr is a new one for me. My aim was to take lots of hits on block, get my regens up, get plenty of buffs, and yeah, punish his heavy with my heavy to get the knockdowns. I'm obviously used to gaining passive power, because so up until now I've only taken it on Polka Dot. One suggestion was that I take off parry for this fight so that I don't actually accidentally parry while he's got debuffs on, but I need to keep dex up in case for when he throws a special 2, which he will at some point. So yeah, as I said, aim of the game is to, with protection off, I emphasise that because I throw my special 3 with protection on at this point, and all the debuffs on him will mean special 3 hits really hard, like it does here, and takes off a whole 1%. But that's okay. I also know to dare not try and block or even eat the last hit of the special 2 because it will stun me for ages and it will possibly kill me. We didn't want to do that. But yeah, this fight's taking several business working days to get through. It's not even at 50% yet, but we're cool. We're doing okay. My regen is a joke, and this is kind of Mr. Sinister levels, I dare say. The purists might frown at me for that, but I mean, it's just nuts. So it's super safe, but as I said, when you're playing for time, which at this point we still weren't, we had the war under control here, it was in our hands, so it was good. This just felt super safe. At this point I'm just building up the debuffs on him. I missed there. Also my bleed has fallen off at this point, which means I'm not going to be regenning from block hits and the bleeds, so I need to get that back ASAP. Get the knockdown there, not fussed about bleed for now. The special 3, in addition to hitting him very hard, will give me my bleed magic back as well, or whatever the hell it's called. So that was a more satisfying chunk of health taken out. I'm finding really good ways to waffle this fight because it really is going on forever. It's going well. It's going well. The next special 3 should win it. Relic, heavy knockdown, special 3, and I think this is game. Yeah, and I'm on a full yellow bar, which is pretty nuts. And that is that. We move on to our final fight. 49 Mysterio with Gorr. During planning, I'd initially said Vox would be much better here. Not that I could fit him in, but we settled with Gorr. I didn't really anticipate how bad this would go. I mean, I did make a couple of mistakes, but I definitely hadn't considered the fact that Mysterio is poison immune. Therefore, I'm not going to be able to stun him at all. He also obviously doesn't place any bleeds, so I'm not going to be getting any regen from him. I mean, if I eat a heavy again and he poisons me, then that will give me some regen. I also have no miss counter, so after he throws special 2, I'm not going to be able to counter it. Although, to be honest, with Vox, you only get to throw special ones in this fight anyway, so he also wouldn't be able to counter it. This is a pretty decent enough node for Mysterio, depending on who's banned. Yeah, now I have to wait because of the special 1, so I'm just going to degen lots with no... I also accidentally parry him. This probably... I mean, it did cost me the fight. Spoiler alert, I die and my another Deathless season goes down the drain. Which is fine, you know, it's not the end of the world. But I was looking forward to having one, and I was on a really good run up to this. He also power drains me, so I don't get to throw the next special 3. I should have thrown special 2 here after feedback and hindsight. I didn't have enough debuffs on him for a special 3 to really melt him anyway. I was too focused. But at this point, I think I am resigned to knowing what's going to be happening. And I just seal my fate there with getting degen on because he was passive again and accidentally parrying him once more. Yeah, that's that. He's at 52% health, so I've not even quite cracked him down to half. And I'll be honest, going back in here, I wasn't even confident of cleaning him up. But you've got to do what you've got to do. I don't think I went the special 3 route this time. Again, I can't really remember. It's felt like an age since I did this fight. At this point, again, we were still very much in control of the war. This was pretty early on in the war for me. Things aren't going well, but the war as a whole, it was in our hands. Because this fight just takes so long to do and I've run out of things to say, I'll just jump ahead in the sense that we did have some rough deaths after this, which ended up putting us in a sticky situation, hence us eventually needing to play for time. I don't think my fights could have, you know, the Bullseye fight wasn't going to be done any quicker anyway, and it definitely wasn't the only reason that cost us on time, that's for sure. But we don't need to go there. Of course, he still has miss on, which I can't counter. At this point, I wasn't going to back off. He had little health enough, so I knew that I'd just get him down with a special 2. And there we go. 5 fights this war rather than I've recently been doing 7. 1 death. And we ended up losing 7-7, and they really spanked us on time. The CaV Curse continues for me. We get a break now. We do need to be much better. But I'll see you at War 4 in the meantime. Thanks for watching. Bye!